Hello everyone, my name is Denise and today I'll be talking about the issue of friendship. This is not my first time tackling the topic of friendship, but what makes it special is that I'm going to compare the Buddhist perspective versus the Christian's perspective. Okay, so let me dive right into it. I'm going to read a verse from Buddha. The friend who is all take, the friend of empty words, the friend full of flattery, and the reckless friend. These four are not friends but enemies. The wise understand this and keep them at a distance as they would a dangerous path. Said by the Buddha, Sigalovada, Sutta 20. Okay, so this is beautiful. Let me expand on that some more. The first category, the friend who is all take and no give. Okay, in my life as I'm growing up and trying to make friends, which frankly I'm not very good at, I'm not... Strangely, I am quite socially inept. I often feel like, why am I giving so much? Why is the person not giving back? And I found that it's sometimes a mismatch of love language, because I've always been, well, at least in the last 10 years, I've been a minimalist. So I hate clutter. I like to keep things tight. As a result, I don't like to receive gifts, and I also don't like to give gifts because I feel like I don't want to buy something that is unnecessary and clutter up your home. If I want to buy you something solid, I might buy food so that you can eat it and then you just, and it's just gone, you know. So how do I show people that I love them? I give them words of affirmation, quality time, a listening ear, and yeah. But I tend to feel sometimes that I give so much of myself listening, but I'm not receiving back the listening, and then I feel that why is my friend all take and no give? But sometimes I am also self-aware that is not true, because they give me gifts, solid things, real physical objects, and that is their love language. And in their perspective, they may also feel that I'm all take and no give. So I feel that to determine if a friend is really in this category that's all take and no give, we need to subject it through this love language filter. Okay? And if you must be honest to yourself, right? We have to be honest to ourselves. If we really want to receive beautiful bunch of flowers, for example, or some kind of gift, then we should explicitly ask for it, and the person will explicitly give it. And if he fails to, then maybe that's evidence that he's really all give and no take. Don't drop hints, like weird hints like, do you know my favorite cake is carrot cake? I say, oh, okay, that's great, you love carrot cake, but you must, tell explicitly, especially to someone like me that requires explicit instruction. Please give me a carrot cake for my birthday, or our friendship is in dire straits. Okay, if you tell me that explicitly, then I will know what to do. And if I still fail, then you can just, exile me. I'm okay with that. Okay, on to the next category, the friend of empty words. These friends tend to make a lot of promises, empty promises, future faking, so to speak, but they don't really live up to them. Oh, you just help me a bit first, later I'll help you so much more, stuff like that. These are the second category that Buddha consider as bad friends, because they keep making promises but they can't keep these promises. I think, okay, this happens at very small levels, like please meet me at 9 a.m. sharp, but you come at 10:30, for example. That is a small promise that was broken. Okay, other small promises could be like, when June comes, we're going to go for one big shopping spree together. Just window shop, we don't buy anything, but we just go and have some fun. And so when it comes, June comes, and then you keep calling your friends, hey, remember you told me that you want to go out together and look at clothes and stuff, shall we do it now? And you just keep saying no. So that could be another small promise that's not kept. But it's more than that, like it can spiral down to bigger things, Hey, Denise, lend me $200, I'll return it to you with even interest within 2 months. Or then 2 months pass and money doesn't come back. I said, I don't even want the interest, give me back the original sum. So it can be a big sum, so you get the idea. Okay? But with that said, I'm not that type that will really go back and chase a debt. If I just lend money, I usually just let it go. Okay, next up, the friend full of flattery. Okay, this is a category of friend that I feel like I could fall under, the type that will praise you and affirm you for everything. Unconditional positive regard. True and true. Okay, so isn't unconditional positive regard an awesome thing? Why is it so bad? Okay, in this case, we talk about a friend who doesn't have at least maybe she has a good moral framework, she knows what's right and wrong, but she doesn't impose it on you. She doesn't let you know that this is wrong. I think yes, so what she does is she praises you for everything, but she's actually gathering information to bitch about you later. Like an example, let's say we are out and I perceive that you're a self-centered person and you're talking non-stop about yourself, and I listen to it, but around the 2-hour mark I might get tired and I would say, I really can't take it anymore. I really want to stop, but I am conflict avoidant, so I don't tell you. I say, just go on. So you keep talking for another 3 hours, so you talk 5 hours non-stop about yourself, but I'm storing that anger inside me so that I can go back and bitch to my husband, bitch to our common friends about it. So that's bad, because I'm allowing you to do something that's against my principles so that I can gather information to bitch about you in future. So that would be, consist of the friend that's full of flattery, not so good. Okay, and it is especially common in people who are conflict avoidant. They don't let you know it's wrong. Maybe it's a friend, you went out shopping and they pick something off the shelves and it's wrong. You never tell them, hey, stop it, you go put it back, or we're going to pay for it, or just let me pay for it for you. I'm not going to allow you to steal in front of me. That's wrong. There are times you really need to put your foot down. Okay, next up, let's talk about the reckless friend. Reckless friend in this case talks about a friend who will go bar hopping with you and wandering on the streets at night, looking for new hangouts. So according to Buddha, that's a bad friend, because this person is filled with desire that's insatiable. The more he feeds on the desire, the more the desire gets warped and becoming overly obsessive about it. So such a friend is bad because it breeds vice in you, and you're also breeding that corresponding in a friend. So these 4 types of friends: the friend that is autic, the friend of empty words, the friend full of flattery, and the reckless friend. 4 of them, this type, Buddha says stay far away, as if they are a dangerous path, don't go near them. So I thought that's very wise, and it's actually, I didn't really use it to primarily judge others around me. I used it to do a self-reflection, and as I've mentioned, I feel that I could fall under a couple of categories, maybe all 4 in certain points of my life. But I think that I'm mostly the friend of flattery, full of flattery. That is the one that I'm most likely to fall under because I'm too conflict avoidant. And maybe the friend who's autic. I think some people might have thought about me that way. Like, I keep giving you presents, why don't you return any gifts? But I try to explain that, well, I'm minimalist and all that. So I don't believe in giving gifts, but I try my best to bake you something, cook something for you, buy something nice to eat for you, spend time listening to your problems, offering validation. But okay, on hindsight, after reflecting, I thought that I'm just going to put those values down and go to the bloody shop and buy that gift that you always wanted. Because I value my friendship more than this kind of minimalist values. But that's on hindsight, so that's a bit late for that already. Okay, next up, let's think about what the Bible says about this, about should we really ever exercise judgment and say that you're no longer suitable to be my friend and go away. So there are some verses that are actually quite contrary to that. So let me just read out from this book, the New American Bible. Let's look at Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. If your brother sins against you, you go and tell him his fault. Between you and him alone, if he listens, you have won over your brother. If he does not listen, take 1 or 2 others along with you, so that every fact may be established on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. I go down a bit more. Then Peter, approaching him, asked, Lord, if my brother sins against me, how often must I forgive him? As many as 7 times? Jesus answered, I say to you, not 7 times, but 77 times. That is why the kingdom of heaven may be likened to a king who decided to settle his account with his servants. So, this is the story about the one. Okay, you can continue reading. This is in Matthew chapter 18. Like the king already forgave you your debt, and then gratuitously, just altruistically forgive you of your debt, and then you hold someone else who have a smaller debt, smaller crime against you, responsible. You refuse to forgive them. So that is the story, which is touching and moving. But back to the topic about 77 times you're supposed to forgive your brother. In the Bible, when we are like Christians in faith, we tend to refer to them as brothers and sisters. Okay, so in this case, it's like a friend. my friend who's the same faith as me, how many times must I forgive them? 77 times. Okay? So some Christians, of course, maybe myself included, Catholic, tend to say, this verse 77 times, right? Which means infinitely I forgive my friend. That means I need to be like a doormat, right? You know, my friend just all take, no give, and I must always forgive them. My friend makes a lot of empty promises, I must always forgive them. My friend is full of flattery and allows me to do all kinds of bad things. Never corrects me when I have a social faux pas and makes me embarrassed and then bitch about me behind my back. I forgive them. My friend who takes me on the wrong path, develop the vices, I forgive them. I mean, if I keep doing that, is that really aligned to the Christian faith? Okay, so some time ago I was talking about the yin yang sign, which I will show you now. Remember I told you that yin yang is balancing each other, and they, is it okay? This is the yin yang sign. Yin yang, black and white. Okay, I got the sign that I like better. This one. Okay. The black denotes passivity, white denotes activity. Also, black sometimes denotes chaos and white denotes order. They balance each other out. So goodness and darkness keep this duality within us, keeps us in check at all times. But in terms of a relationship, we keep each other in check as well. And that is how the relationship lasts long. If you found that you have a friend who's all take and no give, and you just keep bending over backwards, that's not being authentic, because you will develop anger. So from just the recipient of the all take and no give friend, you might eventually become the friend full of flattery but collecting information to bitch. So you are not becoming a very authentically good Christian, so to speak, right? So before it regresses to that stage, it's important to tell them, like, you know, Mary, of the last 5 months we've been together, I sense a bit of imbalance. I always sort of feel that I'm always giving you a lot of affirmation, but you are using every opportunity to put me down, and I'm not really that comfortable with it. I really treasure our friendship. I want to forgive you, and I do. But I know that moving forward, if I continue to tolerate something that part of me cannot stand, I'm not being authentic to myself, and then somehow I will self-sabotage this relationship eventually. I know myself, I'm not a saint. So Mary, I really treasure our friendship together now. So can we just work it through and come to a closer equilibrium? Tell me, maybe you have given me in your own way, but I just don't know how to appreciate it. But what I need is more words of affirmation, people to tell me that I'm okay, I'm not defective, I love you as you are, Denise. I want to hear that. If you can give me that, I will be so happy, I'll feel loved. Something like that. So see, that will help us last longer, and that will help me stay in the friendship longer, so that I can forgive you 77 times. And it works both ways also, right? You get to forgive me as well. I'm not perfect. That's how we keep each other locked and checked and balanced. Okay, back to the other friend, right? The friend of empty words. Same thing, you can tell them, like, maybe not Mary, let's use another word, Betty. Of late, I've noticed you've made a lot of promises to me, but you haven't really kept them. Like, every time I ask you out, you are 1 hour late. At first, I thought that it was a bad day for you, but it's been 3-4 times, and every single time you're late. I find that's a broken promise to me. I find that those are empty words. So I hope that you can keep your promise next time and reach on time, because that is one of my values. You know, I make special effort to reach on time for you. I hope that you can reciprocate that. Something like that. Have an open talk about it. And the friend full of flattery, maybe to myself, I might one day have to really reflect, to draw my boundaries. Like, when do I stop being non-judgmental, the fake non-judgmental? I'm just telling the person straight that I don't really like what you just said, or I don't really like what you're doing right now. I think it's kind of rude and not respectful to that person. I prefer if you're more respectful to him, because he also deserves to be loved. Something like that. I wish I can be more open. Okay, and then finally, the reckless friend to bring you to bad places and bar hopping. Fortunately, at this point, I don't think I'm so involved in that. I think because I'm older now, at this stage of my life, I don't really have that. But if I do, it's also good to tell them honestly and openly. Okay, so in conclusion, this has been a long video. Do I find any congruence and places of meeting and between this Buddhist and the Christian or Catholic doctrine? I say yes. Yes. Because we should not blindly take this Christian Catholic doctrine as, I'm going to forgive my brother from the bottom of my heart. There is no hatred there. No matter how many times you slap me or trample over me, I forgive you with the love of Christ. I mean, like maybe in about 200 years when I'm somewhere in purgatory, I might get to that state. But right now I'm not, so that's not very authentic. If I really want to be in a relationship in the long haul, to have the opportunity to forgive you that many times, or for you to forgive me that many times, I really have to be authentic and be able to voice my discontentment if happen that I or the other party falls in these 4 categories of friends. Okay, hope you found this video helpful. If you did, kindly press like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much and God bless.